Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Undead Girl Murder Farce episode 7. Today is the rare double feature day. Well, not really a rare double feature day, because I sometimes do record like 2 episodes of 2 different anime on the same day so that I can have the next day off, essentially. But no, today I'm recording 2 episodes of Undead Girl Murder Farce back to back. I don't often do that because I feel there is something lost in that. There is that, your comments about episode 6, I'm not going to be able to read them before episode 7 begins. So there is, something lost there. Absolutely, 100%. But at the same time, I'm a fair bit behind on schedule with Undead Girl Murder Farce. Episode 11 came out like today, and this is only episode 7. So I better speed up the tempo, I better pick up the pace. So that's what we're doing. And also episode 6 ended with a massive cliffhanger, so I'm doing it for my own sake as well. Episode 7 of Undead Girl Murder Farce, everybody. Right, what happened in the previous episode? Quite a bit. Quite a bit, actually. Well, of course, Aya was not stolen, really. Tsugaru simply mistaken, whatever the proper form is there, her cage for a cage with a bird, and he stole some poor soul's bird, and that poor soul had Aya instead. Then she was dropped, picked up by the Ginger twins, and Shizuku and Tsugaru had to go in pursuit of them. She was recovered, but not before, or rather, yeah, it was before, slightly before, or not before, I don't know, whatever, at the same time, as meeting Arsène Lupin and Eric, or as he prefers to be referred to, Phantom. That meeting had to trigger something, but I'm not sure what exactly and how exactly, in what exact ways. But yeah, they met because Shizuku enlisted their help, although unwillingly. More like Arsène deemed it necessary to help a lady in distress, like a gentleman should, of course. So yeah, that happened. But the more important part is that Arsène played Sherlock like a goddamn fiddle. He showed up in disguise, which made Sherlock suspicious of everybody and limit the amount of people in the vault and whatnot, because, everybody can be disguised and whatnot. And he also talked a lot about how, the locks are really easy to open, Sure, that lock might be complicated and made by inhuman hands, but if Phileas could open it, then why wouldn't I be able to? He, of course, spoke the truth, because he only talked in theory, right? But that was enough to make Sherlock really suspicious and lock everybody inside of the vault. Everybody meaning Phileas, his butler, himself, Sherlock, and Watson, and 2 police inspectors, I believe that's who they are. Shot the locks. They are sealed now inside, exactly according to Arsène's keikaku. And now the water started pouring down the ventilation shaft. And the roof of the chamber is a semisphere with the ventilation shaft at the very top. So it will be filled up to the very top. They will not have any air bubbles or anything to escape to be able to survive. And they can't exactly open the doors either. So either someone from the outside will have to blow out the walls or the doors somehow to save them, or the water pressure itself will break the chamber, and it's gonna be right for the picking for Arsène. Of course, it was Phantom who did it, disguised himself as one of the guards, and made his way through some secret passage, blew up a certain corner. He knew exactly which one, which is also interesting. And at the same time, Tsugaru and Aya are up on a watchtower of some sort, watching things unveil, and we are not sure what are they doing besides that. But Aya had to have some plan. Aya had to have known something, and I'm intrigued to see what it is. And also trains. Trains seemingly are involved because Arsene and Phantom have a car, but they discussed the schedule of a train. So there has to be something there. And also the two white wearing people are probably after the gem as well, because it can lead them, their organization, to the nest of werewolves, and they want to destroy all monsters, and werewolves are monsters, so hey, easy way to find some werewolves and kill them. Which also makes me wonder what's going to happen to Tsugaru and Aya. Are they going to be the next targets? Maybe. We'll see. Also, Tsugaru fought Arsene and lost. Oddly enough. And we know that Arsene has control of tiny little items because he was able to control how marbles, regular old glass marbles, move around. So either he's inhuman or he mastered some form of magic. And that's it. That's it, basically. Man, it's easy to recap an episode when you just watched it. Okay, so I guess we can start watching it, right? To do that, you will of course need your subs to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on, and I'm gonna have to ask you guys for your support. Support the channel monetarily on Patreon or YouTube, or not. Share my content, spread the word. It costs you nothing and helps a lot. And with all of that out of the way, we can start watching episode 7 of Undead Girl Murder Farce in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, and it's gonna take like 5 to 6 hours. Exactly my suspicion. Okay. So they will have an air bubble. Exactly. And I assume the safe is too heavy to like float up, and too heavy for anybody to float up with it. He's sus. Are they legit working together? Yeah, the safe is too heavy to carry. Yeah. Are the... Okay, I was about to ask, are those actually gonna do something, but apparently so. And now the chamber is no longer impregnable. Now there's a wide open opening straight inside that anybody can get through. Yeah. On the dot. Okay. So, some of my suspicions have already been confirmed. I'm not quite sure how they managed to sneak out the chest, the safe, but my prediction as to the method of getting in, they worked out. At least the later ones. Made after episode 6. Yeah, water is there just to cause an opportunity, not to kill. Exactly. Exactly. Now, I didn't note it specifically that it's going to create an opening, but I guess that can be inferred. Oh, that wasn't Tsugaru. That was the red-haired half Oni. That's with Moriarty. Oh, so what the fuck is going on in the background? I just noticed. FFA. Okay. Right. People in white will want the gem. Arsen wants the gem. Etc, etc, etc. It's gonna turn into a one big FFA. True. That's what he counts on, I would assume. Is he below the bridge? Oh, is he suspecting someone? Huh? Actually, though, his eyes aren't yellow. And, oh? Okay. Well, shit. I was misled about the eyes. With the water, they floated down a rope, and now they are pulling up the safe by the rope, exactly. But the safe will be able to, and the grate was blown off. Or that, the pressure of water. But also to introduce the rope to the inside of the chamber. Exactly. That was actual Ganimard. Or that. Okay. That also makes sense. Oh? Oh? Okay. And it's inside of the tobacco box. That's some 5D chess bullshit. Oh, that's great. That's great. Right, Goemon. I mean, it's a classic, and it's effective. Is Aya inside? Of course. Amazing. Literally used the head. Superhero entrance. I love it. Arsen is a performer. They are also performers. Oh! Yeah, okay. That was convenient. Okay. I still have the diamond. Is he? No, you don't. He didn't sign up for any fighting. Exactly. Okay, it's legit FFA. Now he's also getting involved. Who else? Okay, what else is going on here? What the fuck is going... Oh, Moriarty. Okay. Now, he's not fucking around when it comes to getting things he wants. Oh, I was afraid it's ending time. But no, we are just halfway through the episode. Yeah. Old friend being Aya? Or Phileas? Diversion time. I guess you can call it a diversion, sure. That's a big ass. Right, she doesn't drink just any random blood, of course. That's a lot of death in a single episode. Now that's the kind of blood she likes. No, not gonna be that easy. All things considered, you're just a human. Yeah, it really is an FFA. Smoke bomb? No, distraction. Causing a distraction, of course. Not gonna be that easy. Tsugaru is having fun. At least Tsugaru gets to live a little. Yeah, and it's not Lupin's modus operandi. Yeah, probably. Do you have a way to kill monsters? Yeah, she's not after the diamond. She's after your life. Like a cat. Not silent enough, though. Not anymore. Aya Rindo. Right, he's not well known back then yet. Oh, so it's not magic, it's just some... Okay. So like dart frog darts? How does he cause like spontaneous combustion though? Also with darts? Okay, with other implements. Oh, you poor inspector, you. Not gonna do much. You need silver. Whomst? Oh, Shizuku, hello. Do you have any silver on you by chance? Just gonna walk away. Exactly. She has her orders and she's gonna stick to them. Not gonna be easy, I'm afraid. She has. Oh, it's not a gun. It's a sword. Naginata. No, it's a huge ass bayonet. Yeah, it's a musket with a bayonet. I hope the blade is silver. And they're just having fun. Boys will be boys and all that. You forgot about him. They're just having fun, roughhousing a little in the backyard. And who's gonna be inside from Moriarty's troop? The ending is gonna be inside, that's what, I guess. Ah, fuck. Another cliffhanger. But I'm not gonna watch episode 8 today. That would be a little too much, I think. Oh boy. On one hand, I'm glad that I can binge them like that. On the other, it really causes a lot of temptation, doesn't it? Like, I can't be tempted to watch the next episode of Helck or the next episode of Nanatsu no Maken ga Shihaisuru because I'm up to date with them. So there's no temptation. But here, oh, I'm tempted to watch episode 8, but yeah, my brain capacity is only so much, I'm afraid. Then again, this episode didn't really have that much thinking. Mostly just some, nice blood-pumping action. And that's good. That's very good. You need episodes like that as well. Nothing after credits. Nothing. Okay. They don't seem to have previews, which is great, and they don't seem to have any after credits scene either. Which is also good depending how you look at it. And what we will look at now is the same episode again. Shall we? Yes, we shall, as always. Yeah, his goal is not to kill. Do I even start crossing off items from my list this early, I wonder? Let's see. Diamond is extracted through the speaking tube. Well, that's false. Phantom is actually a phantom and can phase through walls into the vault. Well, we don't know that he can phase through walls. Or rather, we know that he cannot because he would do that, but we don't know if it's actually a phantom. London Underground is the way in and out. We don't know that yet. Strongheart's germophobia is exploited. There is still potential for that. 11 to 11:30, London Underground workers have a break. We don't know what the plan was here. Diamond interacts with Moonlight. We don't know that. Folk himself is sus. We are not entirely sure until this arc is over. The seeds of doubt Arsen planted are locks and disguises. That is entirely true. That was easy, I guess. So I can't really feel proud about it. Stringheart and Double Darts worked with Arsene. I genuinely don't think they did. So orange it is. Arsene can manipulate locks mechanisms with magic. We don't know that. How did Phantom know about that secret passage? We don't know that. Water is there just to cause an opportunity not to kill. Seems to be exactly the case. Phileas knew Arsene was a monster. That's why he called for Aya. We don't know that yet either. Okay, that sums up the previous theories, so we can continue. Lupin is known not to kill. Okay, so the floor of the tower. What was it? The moat. How far below the surface of the moat is the floor of the tower's semi-basement? Okay, so it's a semi-basement, so they will have a an air bubble, of course, but they will not be able to carry the safe up because it's made of solid silver, and silver is really heavy. They want you to break through the wall, which is their way in or their way out. Although, no, it really wasn't used as a way out, was it? Because Arsene, dressed as the inspector, carried the diamond. Meanwhile, Phantom used the rope to carry the safe. The hole in the wall wasn't really used. It was just to end the performance, to free everybody, right? To save everybody, to allow them to live, and to, I guess, also for Phantom to be able to get out. Water stopped, yeah. Those are some really strong bolts that they were able to just casually break the wall. I was about to laugh at her that she's throwing some darts at the wall and she's hoping to achieve something with it, but she legit did. 11:30 on the dawn. He may not have gotten away yet, and he hasn't, exactly. I was confused about this shot at everybody's feet. And Holmes being suspicious of someone, I thought that he's suspicious of Fatima, but no, he was suspicious of the inspector. And there we go. This is Arsène Lupin. Remind me, if I ever have a huge vault where I keep some precious things, remind me to install like a scale in front or something. To scale a like a notched thing to measure people so that I can confirm that they are who they claim they are. Would be really useful right about now. Yeah, the safe was carried out through the shaft, and you faked your fat, and you were actually lighter than you look. Nobody should have been able to go through that duct, yes, but you can just throw a rope down there. And also... oh, right, diamond is extracted through the speaking tube. I have it already crossed out. There's a metal grate over it. Well, the top grate, wherever it was or whether it existed or not, was blown apart. And the bottom one was just carried out with water pressure. Water is a scary thing, or water pressure more exactly. Like, water jets can cut diamond and all sorts of other materials. It's really no joke. And yeah, it's suddenly dark inside because all of the light sources went out because of the water, so nobody can see the rope that it's being pushed or pulled rather with the water stream, which means it was very easy to get it inside. Someone had to be inside, of course. It was Ganimard. And yeah, he convinced Sherlock that his disguises were very easy to see through. But it seems like it was like literally fucking 5-dimensional chess. Like, of course, I was, convinced that, or no, Lupin thought that I was convinced that he's going through the door, but in fact, haha, I snuck in and hid the gem in the tobacco box of Dr. Watson, while someone visited us back then to bring it. That's why I told him not to smoke it. Haha, I knew you would do that. So I stole the diamond beforehand. All that was missing really right now is for Sherlock to stand in front of him in a gas mask saying, haha, I knew you're gonna use a smoke bomb, so I came prepared. In Japan, we have Nezuki, Kozo, Jinnai Kosaki, and Goemon Ishikawa. And there's the whole story. He was captured, sentenced to be boiled, but all of his supporters decided to steal every pot. And the whole story. I thought for a moment that it's Phantom turning against Arsene and Phantom just smacking him with the with the save, but no, it's Aya hiding inside. Being a decapitated head can come useful sometimes. This is great. Superhero landing from 15 stories high. At an angle, apparently, as well. And, of course, finishes his story. And we call that the Tale of the Pot Thief. Perfect, Tsugaru. I enjoyed this story thoroughly. I love it. I love how casual he is about it, how casual Aya is about it. I say it with every episode, but I really, really, really do enjoy it. Also, I'm pretty sure this statue is just a photo. Sure, this whole thing was a performance to Arsene, but it's also a performance to Tsugaru, to the point where even fucking Arsene Lupin himself is taken aback. And yeah, he mistook Annie for Aya. He just thought that Annie might have a cage with something, and Shizuku was looking for that cage for her master because her master, Annie, has a pet bird or something, and Annie was obstructed by the cage. Yeah. Makes sense. Also makes sense why Tsugaru would lose. On purpose. Fog was in the cage. Aya was in the cage. It's just red. This is such an over-the-top visual, right? Like, so far this show has been fairly, like, realistic in that nobody has, like, this symbol for anger on their head, or, nobody's eyes just turn droopy with, like, two wide rectangles below them to signify tears, or, nothing of the sort was happening so far. And here is Arsene just literally glowing red with anger. Also, I love that Phantom just fucking bailed. He signed up for some thievery. He didn't sign up for no fighting. 1 diamond, 2 monsters, and 1 phantom thief. Yeah, we know you prefer things clean. We know that, believe me. And the bridge was blown up. Without the bridge, we won't be able to... I guess... maybe it really doesn't seem like that much of an issue. But of course it is an issue because they are trapped right now. With intruders who mean business. Who don't just, go out into the courtyard having fun, laughing as they punch each other and having fun and roughhousing a little bit like Tsugaru. They just kill. They're not gentlemen. They're not giving any advance notice to what they're gonna do. No, they just come in, slaughter everybody, take what they want, and fuck off. It's a really big contrast to the way everything has been working so far in this show, don't you think? That so far everything was fairly, for the lack of a better word, clean. Right? Like, sure, okay, there was the murder case, the very first arc, absolutely. But besides that, like, we didn't have a case of a mass murderer, for example, or anything of the sort. And even the first case, even the first arc was fairly clean in that regard, right? The what was his name? The vampire lord, Jean Duchet Godard. He was fighting with that one vampire hunter, didn't kill him, right? Ultimately, it was fairly clean. There was just one single victim, unless you also count Raoul, who was massacred by Tsugaru. And in this case as well, Lupin is a gentleman thief. No one was hurt ultimately, a little bit chilly, but it was a nice battle of wit, right? Everything so far has been a battle of wit. All of the battles were taking place in the head of the viewer and in the head of Aya, in the head of Tsugaru, in the head of everybody involved. That was the arena of combat, and it was victimless, ultimately. This group really shakes things up. We are no longer, limiting victims in that, say, Raoul is dead and Jean's wife is dead. But there is no, like, whatchamacallit? Collateral damage, right? No collateral victims. In this case as well, there are no victims physically to the crime that Arsene commits. And we are led to believe that this is this kind of a show. where, okay, there's some punching, some fighting every now and then. It's cool, it's fun. It's fun figuring out all those different theories, right? This is the clue of the show. I'm getting into it. Oh boy, I'm so excited to figure out what's gonna happen. And then this bunch rolls in and just turns the show into fucking Tokyo Ghoul, right? It's a huge contrast on purpose. It's a huge contrast on purpose, because you also see that all of them are fairly, refined, just like everybody else we've met so far. Everybody else also, would give notice in advance and whatnot. They don't. They just kill and get what they want. There's no subtlety. There's no battle of wits. There's no thinking. There's no theorizing about them. There's nothing to theorize about. They walk in, they kill, they take what they want, they walk out. There is no method to think of. There's no mysterious way, oh, how did they get here? How did they know? None of that. Mm-hmm. That's a big ass. Jack searches east. Victor and Moriarty, I assume, search the west. I don't know. Is it Moriarty? No, Moriarty in the list of characters is wearing a top hat, and he's wearing a bowler hat. And also a different scarf. And we know that characters in anime really don't tend to change their clothes, so I'm not sure. But then again, Moriarty has like white eyes and very similar hair, so maybe it is Moriarty. I'm not sure. Would it be alright if we killed your old friend? Oh, I have no objection. So the old friend is probably Sherlock. That's why, who was it? What's his face? Aleister Crowley mentions that he was given permission to kill Sherlock. So this probably is Moriarty, Sherlock's old nemesis. And of course he would like that. He gets to put on a show. I thought initially that they are genuinely all Inhumans. That Moriarty just assembled a cast of Inhumans to help him. But it seems like Crowley is a human, but a very crafty one with all of his different implements. Again, that's a big ass. And she's a gourmand, however you want to say it. And they split up as well. And this is what I signed up for. A nice fight between three people who take at least some joy in fighting. It's fun. There is some laughs to be had. It's colorful. Nobody really, nobody really has any serious way of seriously injuring anybody else for the most part, right? Like, Tsugaru doesn't want to kill Arsene. He doesn't necessarily want to kill this guy as well, Reynold. Reynold, sure, he wants to kill Tsugaru, but the chances of doing that are very slim. Arsene just wants to run away. It's nice, light-hearted combat, nice, light-hearted fight. I'm not used to seeing people being massacred in this show, is what I'm trying to say. Arsene evaded. So did Tsugaru. Just casually. And, of course, Lupin's getting away, moving the attention to someone else. Lupin, of course, has his own tactics, is running away, laughing. This guy is smiling a little bit because it's fun. It's a fun challenge for him. Tsugaru is like, oh. I love it. I love those three. I love this light-hearted fight between them. It's great. It's amazing. He, Lupin, and my assistant went running into the courtyard laughing. New intruders have appeared. Aya's knowledge apparently can help. I wonder in what ways. Like, it would be one thing if Aya had some sort of, you know, some ability to interact with the world, for the lack of a better term, because she would be able to, I don't know, cast a shielding spell, for example, or use her superhuman reflexes to save Sherlock, you know, stuff like that. But she's just a head, so how exactly is she of help? Unless she knows the weak spots of those particular monsters that can somehow be exploited. But have Oni, that is Jack, for example, I don't think he would have any weaknesses that can be exploited by humans. Similarly, Carmelia, I mean, sure, Silver, but try to actively fight with a vampire and drive a silver stake in their heart. It's a different thing when they are asleep or laying in their casket and you just, you know, stab them in the heart from like surprise. But when you're actively fighting, it's not gonna work. The easiest, seemingly, the two easiest ones to get rid of seemingly are Alistair, of course, because he's just a human ultimately, crafty but a human, and Victor, because I don't suppose there's anything more to him than great durability and great strength. I don't think he can use, like, I don't know, pyrokinesis or anything of the sort. So deal enough damage and Victor too will fall and avoid getting damage by him. That said, Victor has the entourage of Moriarty, and we don't know what Moriarty's skills are exactly. He might be a thorn in our side. Fatima, she's good. She's good, but ultimately she's going after a deformed human. So, like... And I've run out of tea. Thankfully, I have this 3-liter jug of mandarin juice, and that will have to do. But yeah, ultimately, Fatima is going after a deformed human, as if he was a monster. I thought that her organization deals with monsters, you know, werewolves, vampires, half demons, that sort of folk, and not humans who have a birthmark on their face. There's nothing supernatural about Phantom, and yet he's on the list, seemingly because he's been terrorizing the Paris Opera House for the past 20 years, and that somehow makes him an enemy of humanity? I don't know, that doesn't really check out in my mind. Wrist crossbows, always nice to see. They can fire continuously, but I assume they too have a limited ammo. He's silent, but not silent enough. Now, Alistair. Alistair fits this crowd well, decently well. If he wasn't such a murderous psychopath, he would really fit the crowd. He's a gentleman, right? Top of the morning to you, gentlemen. Sherlock, Detective Sherlock, Dr. Watson, it's a pleasure to meet your acquaintance. And who might that lady behind you be? Having some nice talk. Known as a self-proclaimed researcher of magic and numerology. No, I'm nothing more than a lackey. He's not, you know, he doesn't have any illusions of grandeur, anything of the sort. He's a gentleman, ultimately. Right? Oh, it was really nice having a chance to speak to the great Detective Sherlock. Right? Oh, you're far more noble than everybody else that I've met. And he apparently uses all sorts of things and just throws them with a snap. So people think that he snaps and someone just falls down paralyzed, while in reality he throws a dart with that snap that paralyzes the person. Smart. Your thumbs work more than twice as fast as a regular person's. And he has a lot of stuff on him. And by a lot, I mean a lot. Let's see. Strings on his... strings on the right, bottles of something, bags of something, and up there I assume smoke bombs or some other sort of a bomb. On the other side, knives, more knives, even more knives, and kunais, which is essentially even more knives. Darts and vials of something and more darts. Again, his issue is limited ammunition. Right? That's where the likes of Tsugaru and Shizuku have the advantage. Tsugaru doesn't have ammo for his fists. He can just keep fighting long after Crowley is out of ammo. Right? Similarly, Shizuku can keep fighting long after Fatima, for example, is out of ammo. Now, sure, Shizuku's musket also uses ammo, but she also has a big-ass fuck-off bayonet that she can use for melee combat. Oh, you poor, poor inspector. Too slow with that cross. Thankfully, Shizuku is here. Inhuman speeds, inhuman reflexes, inhuman strength. I wonder, is Shizuku any sort of an inhuman, or is she simply this fucking good of a person, of a human rather? Have you seen Phantom? No, I haven't. Okay, have you seen Phantom? No, I haven't. Okay, well, you guys continue doing what you were doing. Don't let me bother you. I need to look for Phantom, so if you'll excuse me. Yeah, then if you'll excuse me, I'm going to, fulfill my duty. No, that's her trigger. That's Shizuku's trigger. Oh, you threatened Lady Aya. Well, haha. Initially, I thought that it is legit a naginata or some sort of a sword. Like, I remember that she had a musket, but maybe she has a sword now, or maybe she has both in the same sheath or something. I completely forgot that her musket has a huge fuck off bayonet on it, and it seems to be pure silver. Music picks up. It's a gunblade. At this point, it's just a gunblade. I love the music here. I love how it picks up. Arsen is having fun. This guy is having fun. Tsugaru is having the most fun of them all, just falling through the sky, beating each other up, trying to get the diamond. Like what was this? How did he manage to just fly off in that direction? I don't know, but it's fucking cool, so I don't mind it. Suddenly Tsugaru, having the most fun of them all, legit. I love this shot of him just slowly approaching and then a close-up on his teeth. Not his eyes, his teeth. His laughing fucking mouth. This is great. This is great. I love it. This trio fighting is like the best part of this episode, probably. Honestly. I love it. I love how much fun they're having. This is a fun fight. Please more of this, less of mindless massacre. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. That's it. Ah. Oh boy. Well, that was a great episode. That was a great episode, and it makes me wanna watch more, but I have to stop eventually. Like, I can't binge the rest of this series today. I have to pace myself lest I get burned out. I feel like I would have one more episode in me, but I don't want to risk it, so I'm gonna leave it for tomorrow. Maybe we'll see. We'll see about that. Uh, Again, great episode. I loved Tsugaru. Already said it multiple times. I wonder how will they deal with all of the intruders working under Moriarty. All this time, I was under the assumption that he's some sort of a final boss, essentially. Right? That maybe Tsugaru and Aya will have to go through all of his lackeys and then eventually get to him. You know, something of the sort. Or maybe as they are solving cases, they get a clue about his whereabouts here, another clue there, and they can eventually track him down. And I wasn't even thinking that it's going to be in the scale of the season, rather in the scale of the source material, that the fight with Moriarty is like the finale of the source material. But it seems to be like the confrontation will be much faster, and it seems to be like either all of his lackeys or most of his lackeys will have to be defeated, and then he will have to run away alone. If we are to hope for that final confrontation, we need to leave him alive so that he can build up his strength and his lackeys again, and then we can have that final fight. Or he's just a stepping stone, and it turns out that he doesn't actually have Aya's body, someone else has it. And he was just a fake out villain, essentially. I wonder. I wonder how will the fights with the lackeys go. Again, are we going to have a few episodes where in the next episode, for example, Shizuku kills Carmelia, maybe Tsugaru also has a fight with Jack and defeats Jack as well, and then they have to also defeat Victor. Now Aya and Sherlock defeat Alistair somehow, and just Moriarty has to run away, or not. Or is it going to be the case of Shizuku killing Carmelia, then Moriarty getting a telepathic signal that, oh no, Carmelia is dead, something's amiss, we better move out and regroup, and he sends a telepathic signal to everybody else, move out and regroup, and that's how it's going to go? I don't think so. I don't think he's the kind of a person who will actually back out. So we are potentially looking at, in the next episode, at least we're looking at fight with Shizuku versus Carmelia, Watson, Sherlock, and Aya versus Alistair Crowley, and I assume Tsugaru versus Jack. Perhaps Tsugaru, Arsen, and Stingheart teaming up against Jack. That's also plausible. That's also very much plausible. That leaves us, of course, Victor and Moriarty. And it's anybody's guess whether he will choose to stay and fight or he will choose to flee while he can and then rebuild his merry troop. That said, I don't think characters who are this prominent in the opening, which is Moriarty's lackeys, would die like halfway. No, not halfway, like 3/4 or 2/3 rather through the season. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to tell. If there is someone who is going to die in the next episode, this will probably be Carmelia. Alistair, I can see him making an escape. Jack, Victor, and Moriarty, I can see them not getting involved, or perhaps finding Diamond, getting it, and then bailing, achieving what they wanted to achieve, and running. That's also a possibility. And in future episodes, we see Carmelia replaced by a werewolf that they found in the werewolf village that the gem led them to. Do I even like note anything down here? I wonder. What is there that would be worth taking note of, if anything, really? I don't think so. I don't have any particular conviction. Not the correct word. I don't lean particularly in any way. So I can't say that, oh, I believe that Moriarty will run away. I can't say, oh, I believe Moriarty will be defeated, because either of those work. I guess the one thing that I can be decently convinced of is that Carmelia will be dead at Shizuku's hands. And that's basically it. And I don't think that's really worth noting down. The main mystery has been solved. Essentially, that's basically the main point here. Anything else that needs to be said about this episode? I don't think so. I think that's it. Ultimately, this episode didn't really have that much mystery to it. It was just fun fights, fun scenes, fun character interactions and whatnot. Next episode will perhaps bring some more mystery that is a little bit that takes a little bit more to discuss. We'll see about that. We still have plenty of episodes to go, so anything can happen really. But right now, I think that's gonna be it from me for today. So maybe you guys have something more to say. If so, say so in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode, of my reaction, my theories, whatever few I had? In the comments. No spoilers though, please, I beg of you. I know you might have read this source material, I haven't, so don't spoil the fun. Discord is up here and also in the description. That's where you can go with your spoilers if you so desire. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Undead Girl Murder Farce, but also Magia Records, Zom 100, Atelier, Ryza, Helck, Nanatsu no Maken, Shihai, Suru, Ancient Magus Bride, and more coming at you in the future. I also stream sometimes, mostly gachas, so click the bell icon to be notified when I go live. Support the channel if you want on Patreon, link down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Magia Record, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. If not, you can support me on YouTube itself as well if you want, or not. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's the list of my wonderful patrons: QB, Without a Net, The Cripple Survivor, Zetran, Zayrain, Rakomancer, Marsh Fassel, Dr. Wotuki, and Hans Peter, and you can join them without having to fight Tsugaru for it.